This morning on NNN AM, March is Women's History Month. We tell you the history of one local women's rights activist and her impacts at Northwestern.
And off the leash. Man's best friend back on the sand as Evanston reopens the dog beach. We introduce you to two of the first pups wading into the water.
And finally, coming together, how the community is rallying around one student to raise awareness and money for cancer research.
All that and more this morning on NNN AM.
It's your morning news right now. Good morning and welcome to NNN AM.
Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday morning, and you may have noticed we're outside of our studio.
That's right. A special thanks to Northwestern University's Office of Undergraduate Admissions for allowing us to film in the Siegel Visitor Center with a beautiful view of the lake.
We've got a packed show for you this morning, so let's get right to it. Northwestern University Dance Marathon raising over $400,000 during their annual fundraising transition. The 49th annual event drawing hundreds of NU students to raise money as they dance for 30 hours split into 10 blocks. This year they're benefiting the Little Heroes League, a nonprofit organization working to improve care for babies with complex medical conditions born in the Chicagoland area. In addition to the Evanston Community Foundation, which awards grants and endowment funds to individuals, families, and organizations to help build a more equitable Evanston. Over the course of NUDM's 49 years, they say they've raised more than $23 million in total.
Throughout winter quarter, at least 3 instances of, quote, forcible sexual offense have appeared on the Northwestern Evanston campus police blotter. But Northwestern didn't send students a single crime notice for these instances. I took a look at the procedures for when certain crimes are reported on campus. Content warning, this story mentions sexual assault.
Incident offense, criminal sexual assault. The words appearing on Northwestern's Evanston campus police blotter multiple times this quarter.
You are required to maintain a daily crime log.
Laura Egan is the Senior Director of Programs at the Khoriaty Center, a nonprofit working to help colleges understand the requirements of the Khoriaty Act. The act is a federal statute improving safety on campuses. It requires crimes like sexual assault, harassment, and stalking reported within a college's jurisdiction be publicly reported within 2 days and an annual security report.
And it contains the 3 previous calendar years worth of Khoriaty crime statistics, but also summaries of existing policies and procedures around certain aspects of campus safety.
The act requires a university directly notify students if there's a continuing threat to campus. In NU's annual security report, it says if the crime was reported in a timely manner, if it was a pattern, and the continuing danger to the campus community are all factors. Egan says how to determine continuing danger falls under campus purview.
There are best practices around what campuses should be considering when they are evaluating if there is that serious or ongoing threat.
Students receiving crime notices in fall 2021 when alleged druggings occurred in fraternity houses. However, NU sending no crime notices for any of the alleged incidents this school year. In January, when asked about why students did not receive a notice after an alleged forcible sex offense at a fraternity house, university spokesperson John Yates in an email to NNN, quote, "Our understanding is it involved 2 individuals and there was no ongoing threat to the broader campus community." However, Yates did not respond to NNN's repeated requests for comment regarding how NU decides if there's an ongoing threat. Egan says any Khoriaty crimes reported to a community safety authority would go on the safety log, but that does not mean there are criminal charges.
Some campuses say all of our CSA reports do go to campus police. That is our bank. Some campuses say all CSA reports go to a role that lives outside the police department.
Northwestern University Police Department Chief Bruce Lewis did not respond to NNN's request for comment, but if there are criminal charges, they may work with Evanston Police Department.
We are notified of it. We're definitely going to make either the appropriate notification and have Northwestern follow up on that, or we would be doing it ourselves.
Chief Stewart says she wants students to know that they are there to support them if they ever need it.
From celebrating International Women's Day to panel discussions, here's a look at Northwestern's events for Women's History Month. Start the month with a discussion on University Hall on reproductive rights on Tuesday. You may want to swing by the Women's Center for an International Women's Day event on March 8th. Following that, a symposium on March 9th will feature a panel discussion on harm reduction. For more information, visit planetpurple.northwestern.edu. Here on campus, one local figure comes to mind this month. NNN Shravya Pont shares with us the living history of a Northwestern alumna and national icon, Frances Willard.
France Cafe is a late-night snack spot in Willard Residential College. The origin of the name? Frances Willard.
She was such a well-known figure.
Just a few blocks away stands the Frances Willard House. The museum preserves the rich history of a women's rights icon.
If you want to know what's going on with American women in that time period, you really need to look at this story.
Frances Willard is best known for founding the Women's Christian Temperance Union, or the WCTU. Willard graduated from Northwestern Female College in 1859. She then worked as the school's first Dean of Women.
She did have a great fondness for Northwestern.
After her time at NU, Willard joined the temperance movement. The WCTU advocated for abstinence from alcohol and other social reforms.
They also worked on things like raising the age of consent, worked on women's right to vote.
5 years after its founding in 1874, the WCTU elected Willard as their president. It became the largest women's organization in the world in the 19th century. And their national headquarters? Willard's House in Evanston.
If you were a young woman, you were in the WCTU.
The work done in this home grew the WCTU's membership to 150,000 women. The museum hopes to continue sharing Willard's story.
It's a unique collection. It's so different.
A window into national history, right in Northwestern's backyard.
She lived here and she worked here, and there's something very immediate to that.
And Shravya joins us now. So Shravya, can you tell us a little bit more about what the Frances Willard House is doing to preserve her history?
Yeah, so the Frances Willard House, not only do they host those tours, the volunteers and workers there are really passionate about the history that they're working to preserve. They also have an archives where they're working with the WCTU to continue conducting historical research and preserve her legacy. And they also do a lot of educational efforts about women's rights and also publishing their resources, putting together new stories about the WCTU, Frances Willard, and all the reforms they work towards. So the house is really doing a lot of work to ensure that this story gets told.
Thanks, Shravya. The Frances Willard House offers tours on Thursdays and Sundays by reservation. So Gabby, you actually took a class with Professor Mazur. Can you tell us a little more about it?
Yeah, so I'm in Professor Mazur's class on American women's history, and it's been super interesting. We actually got to take a tour of the Frances Willard House, so I have been there myself, and it's really been great to learn about sort of that aspect of history.
That's pretty cool. I hope one day I can check out the tour as well.
Yeah. Now let's get over to NNN's Ananya Chugh for a look at today's weather. Ananya?
Welcome to the weather here on Northwestern News Network. On this fine, bright morning, it's your weather right now. Today the temperature is warmer with a high of 41 degrees. It looked like it was going to be cloudy, but it's sunny, so enjoy the nice weather before your final season. It looks like there's an 11% chance of snow and wind speeds will be ranging from 5 to 15 miles per hour today. In the meantime, enjoy the nice weather.
Thanks, Ananya. We'll check back in with you later.
Coming up, connecting with creativity, how one NU student uses art to express their unique senses.
And a polarizing experience. Watch as NU students explore the art of pole dancing. Don't go away.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
Welcome back. Northwestern's Art Review and Rotaract Club co-hosted an abandoned art auction for the first time in 10 years. NNN's Lena Peterson explored this creative event for charity.
Auctioning off abandoned student artwork, NU's Art Review and Rotaract Club working to raise funds for a school in Ethiopia.
And basically the school is missing a lot of the essential supplies that it needs to function.
Amy Resnick is the co-president of Rotaract Club, Northwestern's chapter of Rotary International.
It's also just one of our Rotary overarching goals to promote health, sanitation, good education.
Bringing art back to life for a cause. The auction selling pieces made by NU students that were left behind on campus.
I found this incredible route through auctioning off abandoned art by students.
NU Art Review and Rotaract also partnering with ETHS's Interact Club, the high school chapter of Rotary International, to organize the auction.
Great way to not just involve our not to involve just our organization, but to involve the local Evanston community as well.
For Northwestern students, this event serving as a way to enjoy art.
Important to kind of like give back where you can and sort of like recognize privilege in those sorts of ways and like support causes like this.
The event raised a grand total of $2,350, according to Resnick.
I'm so thankful for our art review community and the Rotaract. All of our members have been working really hard to bring this together.
Revitalizing art for a cause.
And Lena joins us now. Lena, what was the event like?
Thanks, Gabrielle. The event was so much fun to attend. It was super lively with plenty of Evanston residents, Northwestern students, and even volunteers from Evanston Township High School, which was awesome to see. There was plenty of art being auctioned off at prices that were even affordable for a student budget. So overall, it was a really great way to bring the community together for a great cause.
Thanks, Lena.
And speaking of art, a coffee shop on Dempster Street is currently displaying works from a local photographer. Evanston Pour is featuring a collection of Metzner's photography on its walls. The coffee shop is partnering with Evanston Made, an arts organization that connects artists and local businesses to produce the display. Customers can grab a cup of coffee while sampling works from two of Metzner's series, Missing the Tree at Greenwood Beach and The Omnipotence of a Dream. In the wake of the pandemic, Metzner says he is excited to interact with artists face-to-face.
I hope to get back into artist studios. That's how that project started. I would meet with artists and photograph them in their studios as they're creating art.
DanceWorks, Northwestern's contemporary dance showcase, is back to campus after a 2-year COVID-19 hiatus. This year's theme is Nostalgia for the Night and was inspired by Latin American showgirl and cabaret culture. DanceWorks 2023 was created during a week-long creative process workshop by NU dance students and guest choreographers. It features 4 performances, including one world premiere dance. Performances began this weekend with the final performance slated for this afternoon at 2 p.m. at the Josephine Lewis Theater on campus.
From sketching and illustrating to painting and sculpting, students on campus engage in artistic expression in a variety of ways. NNN's Bridget Aduwadier reports on how art is a multi-sensory experience for one student.
It's called Letting Your Inner Child Go Wild.
School of Communications third-year Melia Tan began creating art at a young age to relieve stress and connect with family.
I specifically remember him teaching me how to draw fire and like the curves. And so whenever I draw fire, I always think of my dad.
But Tan also says it's an attempt to express visually what's harder to explain in words. Tan has synesthesia, a neurological condition where information meant to stimulate one of the senses, such as hearing, stimulates other senses such as sight and taste.
I tend to describe things really weirdly. This number is crunchy, or this food tastes really yellow and bushy. And people don't understand what I mean.
Art therapist Moira Egan says synesthesia can be a confusing experience.
It's basically like your neurons crossing wires.
From painting the colors of music to illustrating the textures of friends' personalities, art provides Tan an outlet to express their unique sensory experiences. But sometimes there's only so much they can do with art.
It's hard to completely show what I'm experiencing just on a visual format,
because often it is more 3D and it's multi-sensory.
Despite the challenges,
It's the experience of creating that art that's the most rewarding thing.
getting immersed in imagination. Bridget Abdou-Wadier, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Bridget. That sounds like a great way to de-stress and have some fun. So Gabrielle, I am not a great artist. Are you any good at art?
I'm really terrible at art. I remember in middle school, my middle school art teacher kept giving me B's on all my projects to the point where middle school me was genuinely concerned that I was going to get a B in middle school art, which would have been my first B ever, but luckily I was able to pull off an A-.
Yeah, I'm not much better. There's a few classes where I have to do sketches for my engineering drawings, and luckily the bar is low as an engineer, but yeah, art is definitely not my forte.
It's a good thing I don't have to do art as a journalism major. You may be surprised to learn that Northwestern has a pole dancing club. NNN's Emma Sullivan introduces us to members of Polarize to learn about that art form.
It's a sport and an art all in one.
So good!
Greta McNamee is a co-founder of Polarize. That's Northwestern student organization devoted to pole dancing.
I feel very strongly for how empowering and freeing pole is, to the point where I want everyone to feel the way I feel.
Communication show Malia Tan says pole dancing allows students to take control over their bodies during a time when women's bodies are being policed.
With Polarize and being able to pole dance with people who I know are safe, I'm allowed to finally step into that and express myself.
McNamee says that pole dance is in itself polarizing.
A lot of people, or at least more than you'd expect in 2023, are really not okay with particularly women identifying people having so much confidence, and especially associated with an activity that's so sexualized.
McNamee estimates that over 100 people this year have attended Polarize events and pole danced for the very first time. Tan attributes this to pole dancing's accessibility.
Like, anyone can do it, and it's a lot easier than one might expect.
For some Northwestern students, Polarize is a defining Northwestern experience.
It was probably one of the best decisions that I've made at Northwestern.
Promoting self-expression in motion. Emma Sullivan, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Emma.
Coming up next, we tell you what Midwesterners have to say about this year's warm winter.
And how some Evanstonians are waking up with a dip in the lake and a steam in the sauna. We'll be right back.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
Welcome back. It's time now for Under the Microscope, where we break down science news from Northwestern. Northwestern researchers creating a first-of-its-kind, small, flexible, stretchable bandage that speeds up a wound's healing process. The bandage delivers electrotherapy into the wound and monitors the healing process. Afterwards, the bandage dissolves into the body. Of the nearly 30 million Americans with diabetes, about 15 to 20% of them develop a diabetic foot ulcer. The new device may provide a crucial aid to patients with diabetes who face ulcer complications. This bandage is also able to stream data in real time to a smartphone or a tablet. Speaking of mobile devices, researchers developed the first smart wearable device for vocal fatigue. When one overuses their voice, the device provides sensors for how much one uses their voice. The collaboration between biomedical engineers and opera singers created a small and flexible tool that sits on the upper chest. From here, it gathers data streamed to an app, all with the connection of Bluetooth. The team hopes that it will help prevent voice fatigue and potential energy. Graphite, a material providing versatility for industrial and technology uses, might aid the green energy transition. A paper, the first of its kind, studies American imports of graphite. The team of researchers analyzing synthetic graphite material flow and how it impacts green energy. One of the finding details that in order to produce more batteries domestically, more graphite must be imported. That's all for Under the Microscope. We will continue to follow the latest developments from in-use science and technological innovations.
As this year's winter temperatures swing to the extremes more than normal, NNN's Ananya Chug explores why that might be the case. As this year's winter temperatures swing to the extremes more than normal, NNN's Ananya Chug explores why that might be the case.
Spring quarter on the horizon, students are preparing to put away their winter coats. And to some Northwestern students' surprise, recent temperatures are warmer than they expected.
Now it's honestly been kind of up and down, and like really warm one day or really cold one day. And normally that happens, but it happens a lot later.
It's currently 46 degrees outside, and I'm wearing a short sleeve top and jeans.
Whereas here it could be like really cold and still sunny. So that's something I didn't expect coming here.
Environmental experts say the unusual weather may be due to climate change patterns.
This part of northern Illinois is experiencing dramatic warming. We're seeing in our area here kind of an extending of extremes where we have much hotter summers and we have winters that are generally milder.
These seemingly small changes in weather patterns may have a larger effect.
So our warm winter is just a relatively cute symptom of a global climate crisis. If we continue to refrain and decline to actually tackle this seriously, the Earth system will continue to destabilize.
Seeing the effects climate change has in our own backyard.
And stay tuned. I'll be back with the rest of the week's weather in just a few.
Thanks, Ananya. With weather looking to spring, is it beach weather yet? Maybe for man's best friend it is.
It's been 5 years since Evanston residents could bring their dogs to the beach. Now a sandy strip just south of campus is full of paw prints. Jeremy Frederick shows us opening day.
Django!
Portuguese water dog Django heads to Evanston's newly reopened dog beach for the first time.
Maybe he learns to swim, being a water dog and everything.
Evanston's dog beach closed in 2018 because of rising lake levels. Residents pushing for the beach to reopen last year after levels peaked in 2020. In October, the beach, located just south of the Clark Street beach, was accessible at owners' own risks.
The dog beach opened on March 1st. In order to get in, residents needed to purchase a $75 dog pass.
5 community centers across Evanston are selling passes to owners of licensed and vaccinated dogs.
We are excited to be welcoming back our four-legged friends to the beach.
On the sand, owners can let their dogs off the leash and
people can stay on land and dogs can get in the water.
So dogs like Django can make new friends like Shih Tzu Chihuahua mix Charlie.
She dipped her little paws in.
Owner Danielle Sines says she likes how this beach isn't overly crowded because Charlie is shy.
Having this open is going to be great for the spring, so I'm excited.
A positive experience for people and pooches alike. Jeremy Fredericks, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Jeremy. And one of the first events on the newly reopened beach, Evanston dogs will join together in a friendly competition and put their noses to the test. A dog egg hunt is taking place this April at the recently reopened Evanston Dog Beach. Registered dogs will sniff out treat-filled plastic eggs in the sand, with their owners close behind on leash duty. A treat for both dogs and spectators. Be sure to head out to the beach on April 1st for the show. Now, Gabrielle, I don't have a dog, but I know you have an adorable dog.
I do. I don't know if you got the chance to meet my dog. He actually came up in the fall for family weekend. My parents brought him with them. Did you get a chance to see him around?
I did not, and so I've wanted a dog my whole life. My parents unfortunately haven't let me, but when I graduate college and am able to live on my own, I can't wait to get a puppy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something really special is having a dog at home. Coming up, one Northwestern student inspiring others to give back. We show you how right after the break.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
One student's battle is inspiring two Northwestern students to hold a fundraiser. NNN's Louis Castaneda shows us how their efforts are paying off.
As many students are sound asleep, McCormick fourth year Kai Yoon is waking up with the sun.
I have to wake up at 5 a.m., get dressed, get ready, eat.
While some may be preparing for their 8 a.m. classes, Yoon gets ready for his chemotherapy. Yoon was diagnosed with epithelioid sarcoma, a rare skin cancer, after high school graduation in 2017.
I wasn't that scared in the beginning. I thought, all right, yeah, I have cancer, all right.
Yoon says a shock came after when he saw the impact on his loved ones.
But it is more of a pain of not being able to do anything for me.
At the Henry Crown Sports Pavilion, Yoon finding two communities, the garage and the gym.
I mean, how could you look to a guy like Kai and not be inspired by what he's doing?
Solomon setting up a GoFundMe with McCormick's second year Josh Bryce and an Instagram page to bring awareness to Yoon's conditions and encouraging students to give back. Bryce says it hits very close to home.
A lot of members of my family have had it, unfortunately. My aunt, my grandmother had it.
The pair posting daily challenges ranging from 1,000 push-ups to 5 a.m. swims in Lake Michigan.
I'm gonna keep jumping in there every day until we raise enough money.
All funds will be donated to the American Institute for Cancer Research. The goal, $25,000. Yoon's advice for those going through a hard time:
little steps at a time, keep moving forward. And last thing is never skip leg days.
His resilience inspiring others. Louis Castaneda, Northwestern News Network.
The GoFundMe has already raised over $20,000. For more information, visit their Instagram at 25withkai. Now, Gabrielle, that's pretty incredible what they're doing.
It really is, and the fact that these kids are so dedicated to helping their friend and supporting him, I think is something really special.
I can tell you one thing, going in that water at 5 a.m., that is not easy to do.
I mean, just waking up at 5 a.m. isn't easy. I had to wake up at 5 a.m. this morning. It's not something I do on a regular basis, and it was just a little bit difficult for me to get out of bed.
But it's inspiring, and obviously for a great cause, you can see how much their friend really means to them.
It really is something special to see. Coming up, highlights from a historic season. We recap the most memorable men's basketball moments ahead of their final regular season game tonight.
My narrative since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
On this half hour of NNN AM, One Last Shot, an NU student's dream come true with a little help from Twitter. We show you his journey to the men's basketball court.
And Cooking Up Community, we introduce you to the student group bringing back their flagship event for the first time since the pandemic.
And finally, what's brewing around campus? See the Evanston coffee shops caffeinating students and locals alike.
Welcome back to the second half hour of NNN AM. I'm Diego Ramos-Bachara.
And I'm Braden Spate. There's so much more to talk about, and we're going to kick it off with sports.
Right, so the Northwestern men's basketball team played their final home game of the regular season last Wednesday for senior night. NNN's Kendall Wright is at Welsh Ryan Arena to analyze what's ahead for the team. Kendall?
That's right. Here at Welsh Ryan, the atmosphere has been crazy for both the fans and the players. A historic season for Northwestern men's basketball. 2 players made all the difference. Senior guard Boo Bowie leading the team in scoring and assists, and redshirt senior Chase Aldige anchoring on defense by leading in steals. The pair shining when it mattered the most and made significant contributions to the team's success, reaching 20-10 on the season. Over the season, the Wildcats defeated top-ranked Big Ten teams like Purdue and Indiana, earning them number 21 in the AP Top 25 rankings. Looking ahead to the Big Ten tournament, Coach Chris Collins and his team will face off for an automatic bid to March Madness. The Cats made March Madness in 2017. If they make this year's tournament, it would be just the second time in program history.
You got 2 choices. You can tap out or you can keep fighting. And, you know, my feeling is these guys I saw tonight, they're going to keep fighting. And there's no question in my mind they're going to win some games down the stretch.
It certainly has been a regular season to remember. From Welsh Ryan Arena, I'm Kendall Wright, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Kendall. The Wildcats will close out the regular season tonight against Rutgers at 6:30 Central Time.
Northwestern women's lacrosse on a hot streak, winning against Vanderbilt yesterday 24-7. Erin Kuykendall and Ellie Hansen scoring 4 points each. Northwestern started off with a 4-0 lead, but they continued trampling Vanderbilt throughout the game from the end of the second quarter to the beginning of the fourth. The 17-point difference is Northwestern's largest win margin so far this season. The team also winning 11-18 against Youngstown yesterday.
One last shot. A Northwestern senior and Evanston native blew up on Twitter for the movement #LetMac_Shoot. NNN's Maria Heim takes us to the court.
#LetMac_Shoot. A national movement starting on Twitter.
One of my friends tweeted out something about how everybody knows somebody who's been on the court for like an in-game promotion, and that made me think like I've never been on the court, and I grew up in Evanston.
His goal, attempting the half-court shot at a home men's basketball game.
I think the first time the #LetMac_Shoot was used was in an Inside NU tweet, and since then it's kind of become bigger than I ever thought it could be.
Spreading beyond Northwestern.
Rob Barron's dad getting behind him like strongly was probably the funniest part of it.
It's been a dream since Mac was 5.
Before there was a Chris Collins, there was Mac Stone. Like before there was like students coming every game, there was Mac Stone.
Stone, now a 4th year, waited eagerly during last week's final home game of the season.
I'm a little nervous. We'll see what happens. Nothing's confirmed yet.
Then, the Jumbotron blasting, "We're listening," during the second half.
The fact that he was out there alone and that he got to like run out through the tunnel and all that, that was the main event.
And then I was standing there and they gave me a basketball to hold, and I was like, oh my God, this is actually happening.
Stone may not have made the shots, but he did make his dream come true.
I'm glad I got out there. It was my last game at Welsh Ryan as a student.
This micro-viral little thing got to give a larger group of people a glimpse into how great he is as a guy, as a Northwestern fan especially.
And as for Mac?
I think I'm going to have to stop taking half-court shots for a while.
A simple hashtag bringing a dream to life.
Thanks so very much, Maria. So I want to ask you, what was it like actually being there in the game and seeing Mac take his final shot?
Yeah, Diego, it was just really great to see all the seniors supporting someone who tried so hard for a long time to make the half-court shot, to participate in these games, and it really just brought the Northwestern basketball community together.
All right, thanks, Maria.
It's time for another weather update with NNN's Ananya Chog. Ananya, what do you have for us?
Well, guys, the weather looks relatively the same for the next couple of days. We see a rise to the 50s on Monday, but keep your jackets handy, folks, because the rest of the week looks like it's staying in the 30s. Saturday and Sunday are shaping up to be the coldest days of the week with lows of 33 degrees. On Friday, we may even see some snow showers, a change from the relatively warm winter we've been having. So keep your mittens on, folks. Back to you, Braden and Diego.
Thanks, Ananya. I'll be sure to keep some mittens around.
In the wintry months, you may not find many with enough courage to go see the sunrise, let alone take a dip into Lake Michigan. NNN's Michaela Denault dives into how one company is keeping this group and Evanston warm.
It's 5 a.m. and the sun isn't up yet. Evanston resident Ryan Kohler is already outside with his mobile sauna, waiting for a crowd to arrive.
It amazes me on how good it makes people feel. That's what keeps coming me out. And I mean, looking at Lake Michigan doesn't hurt.
Kohler launching Sauna Club, a mobile sauna business, last year. Making his own sauna in his backyard during the pandemic, he saw the impact on himself and wanted to share with the community.
Just being able to look at it and be like, hey, I built this and people love it.
Sauna Club travels around Evanston, but here on Fridays at Lee Street Beach, customers jump into cold Lake Michigan and then go into the sauna to warm up, have health benefits, and just feel good.
It's heaven on earth because right now this morning I was so tired and I didn't want to get out of bed, but I can't miss going in the sauna because it's the best part of my week.
Aside from this cold to hot morning wake up, Kohler says stepping into the sauna promotes heart, cognitive, and mental health.
A couple times a week is where you see the most benefits. But yeah, just make it part of their health routine.
And these benefits extend into friendship.
So the lake became a really huge thing for everybody. This is here. We don't have to go anywhere. This is our tribe.
The sauna, warming hearts of many.
You feel just super healthy and you leave and you just have this sense of calm and peace.
Steaming while the sun rises. Michaela Denault, Northwestern News Network.
If you're interested in trying out the sauna for yourself, check out the Sauna Club on their website and on socials.
As we speak, many community members are braving the waters of Lake Michigan, raising money for thousands of local athletes with disabilities. The 23rd annual Chicago Polar Plunge, presented by Jackson Insurance Company, is taking place right now at Chicago's North Avenue Beach. The goal? To raise $2 million. Current donations totaling over $1.8 million as of yesterday.
Coming up, cultivating their cooking skills inside an NU cooking club and their end of quarter event back for the first time since the pandemic.
And from our very own NNN baker, Jonas Blum, he takes us into his kitchen for a sweet treat. Don't go away.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back. NU Dining removing calorie count labels in all undergraduate dining halls, citing student feedback and research. The move comes as NU Dining strives to support the student body, especially those on campus with eating disorders. According to NU Dining, a survey of students found the display calories on labels to be, quote, triggering, which prompted the change. If you're struggling with disordered eating, contact the Office of Counseling and Psychological Services, or CAPS, for more information and aid.
Finally, the long-awaited new Starbucks opens tomorrow in Norris. The popular on-campus coffee spot among NU students is moving to Norris's ground floor. It will sport a modern look, updated espresso machines, cold brew on tap, and mobile ordering to support all of your quick coffee needs. The new Norbuck's grand opening celebration will be next Monday, March 13th.
Northwestern Cookology makes cooking lessons accessible to students. The club hosting their first pop-up restaurant since the pandemic. NNN's Alexia Cadota-Browner takes us into the kitchen.
Student chefs and bakers join forces in Cookology, Northwestern's premier cooking club aimed at teaching basic kitchen skills and fostering a passion for food and cooking.
It's nice when we hold lessons and we talk to people and we learn more. It's nice to have that brief moment of connection.
Through weekly cooking lessons in the Shield Catholic Center, the club offers a welcoming space for students to learn more about cooking with hands-on instruction.
You sign up, it's completely free. People just have to come and come hungry, and our chefs and bakers lead them through a lesson.
Cookology is known for their annual end-of-quarter event, Pop-Up, where club members present the techniques and recipes they've learned in a showcase dinner.
It has evolved now into playing restaurant. Basically, us and the rest of exec, we choose a theme, we build a menu, and we serve a lucky group of Northwestern students, faculty.
This year's pop-up, the first since 2019, bringing 30 students together for a 6-course meal inspired by a night in New Orleans.
Cornbread, we were brought entrees, we were brought different drinks, desserts, and all of the Cookology students are the ones who prepared the meal and brought the meal to us.
The event fully immersing attendees into the New Orleans experience with live music and creative dishes.
It was super fun to get to chat with the people around me and also enjoy some good food.
Cookology, building a community through cooking. Alexia Cadota-Browner, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Alexia. If you'd like to learn more about the club or get involved, you can follow them on Instagram at cookology.nu.
And our very own Jonas Blum is trying his hand at cooking. Let's see what he's making. Jonas?
Good morning, y'all, and welcome to Jonas's Kitchen. It's bright and early on a Sunday morning, and we're gonna bake everyone's favorite healthy breakfast food, some cupcakes. So, first step, get yourself a bowl. In that bowl, you wanna crack 3 eggs. That's what it says on the back of the instructions. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna put half a cup of oil in this little handy dandy measuring machine. Now, we take that half a cup of oil and we pour it in here with the eggs. Boom, all together. Next, Danny's already helping me. We got this bag. This bag is full of the mix. We got this spoon. This is how we're gonna mix it. We take this, and we mix. All right, next, we got our pan of cupcakes. We got our little cupcake protector machines, and we're gonna put those in. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put this stuff right in there, and then we're gonna pop that in the oven. So here we go. And we're all done with that. So now, here's the fun part. We're gonna take this right here. We're gonna take these brownies. I don't need that. This is cold. We're gonna go right into this preheated oven, 350 degrees. I should have mentioned that at the start. It's a little hot, but it's okay. I got it. And here we are, the perfect baked brownies. Thank you, Cupcakes. Thanks for watching. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Jonas. You know, I'm so happy to see my little mentee, Jonas Blum, all grown up. He went from covering public safety in Evanston to now, doing his own little baking spot. I'm so proud to see him grow, to have seen him grown throughout all this time here on campus.
Yeah, and the cupcakes looked absolutely delicious. I wish that he had brought a few to editing,
Oh,
but he
so
left them
good.
behind.
So good. I really
What
wish.
can you
Yeah,
do?
no, what can you do? Thanks so very much, Jonas.
Up next, we spill all the tea with our very own Ellie Skelly and myself. Here's what's brewing with some famous Northwestern alumni.
And we learn more about plans to relocate Evanston's Game Lounge and Cafe right after the break.
And coming up, a little bit of magic for your Sunday morning.
My narrative since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
One of the garage's largest ventures saves you money and time with the help of your neighbors. NNN's Alicia Tang shows us what it's all about.
Air mattresses, vacuums, and Dutch ovens. All are rentable for a low price on Borrow, a new online rental place serving buildings in Evanston.
Airbnb, but for items within your home.
Co-founder Elliot Hall says their service can make more experiences possible.
Whether it's cooking a delicious meal in a Dutch oven and then serving wine and cheese with a charcuterie board and wine glasses.
Hall wants to remind those who are hesitant to rent that
there is an in-between option. You don't have to forego the experience or fork out $300.
The name Borrow comes from a hybrid of words.
What we're trying to make with Borrow is the play on words of borrow, like a neighborhood, mixed with the word to borrow something.
Borrow co-founder Hassan Nasri says he regularly uses the service himself.
My cousins are coming next weekend and I'm renting an air mattress off of Borrow.
The process for renting is easy. Just fill out a few simple questions.
I just had to go onto the website, fill out a form requesting what item I wanted, the time frame that I wanted it.
The Borrow team is expanding their service building by building. They hope to start serving undergraduate dorms soon.
It's just a matter of us testing, iterating, learning before we go broader than where we are today.
For now, Borrow wants us to
own less, experience more,
minimizing possession and maximizing life. Alicia Tang, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Alicia. For more on Borrow, check them out on Instagram at RentWithBorrow.
The Evanston Animal Shelter is getting a much-needed rebuild with help from the city. The Evanston City Council approving a $6.85 million contract with a construction firm to move forward with rebuilding the city animal shelter. According to Evanston Roundtable, the shelter, which handles 250 to 350 dogs and 250 to 300 cats, especially with overcrowding, animal shelter advocates raising concerns over the past 3 years. The new facility will be constructed throughout this year.
Evanston Games and Cafe unveiling plans for a new location and bar. NNN's Sabrina Carson presses play on this blossoming story.
A community built on gaming, moving to a more visible location. Evanston Games and Cafe relocating from their current side street storefront to a venue near AMC Theaters.
More people will know that we exist.
The shop serving up food, drink, and events to Evanstonians since 2017.
I can just be my authentic self here.
Employee Zyle Cook expressing pride in the store's environment.
Evanston Games does a really good job of both demonstrating and saying that there are people here who are non-binary, who work here and who frequent here, and that's true for people of color.
The cafe is currently open until 10 p.m. The new location looking to broaden their community.
City closes at 8 o'clock, and if it's a Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, you're SOL. There's nothing to do.
Plan to open this spring a conjoined bar, Brittle Blossom, which will serve alcoholic drinks and mocktails.
I don't want to sell the person next to you a beautifully built cocktail and then give you your buzz-off soda.
Bar manager Lolo McGrath hopes it will attract customers of all ages.
No matter how old you are, something thoughtful is going to be put in front of you.
Anav Kinra, an Evanstonian Games and Cafe regular, says he's excited to see the store's next play.
Whenever I go and see movies, I can always stop by here.
Drinking and gaming, a lively community to come.
And Sabrina is here with us now. Sabrina, Evanston Games and Cafe is a store, but it sounds a lot more like a community. Could you tell us a little bit more about that, please?
Thanks, Diego. From what I could tell, Evanston Games and Cafe is an amazing community to be a part of. I was able to actually attend an event there they had for the game Magic the Gathering, and it was really fun seeing everybody so nice and welcoming. There was that sense of competitiveness with the game. However, everybody had a great time.
All right. Thanks, Sabrina.
You see us every week on the Northwestern News Report, but some of our team members have hidden talents outside of the newsroom. You might have seen this video on our Instagram last week of me and of our very own Max Rothfeder showing me a magic trick before the show. Well, Max is back to perform another magic trick. Welcome, Max.
Thank you so much. So I've got a trick for you today. We're going to start with a balloon. Do you want to check that it's an ordinary balloon?
It is ordinary.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and blow it up. While I do that, can you go ahead and get your camera app?
Yes.
And put it into selfie mode, please.
Okay. Oh gosh.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead and hand me your phone.
Okay.
First, we'll take ourselves a little bit of an NNN selfie. Perfect.
Okay.
And then this is a trick by one of my favorite magicians, Matt Franco, inspired by him.
Okay, perfect.
And the trick is called phone inside a balloon. Watch. Just push the balloon and your phone actually goes all the way inside. Now, unfortunately, I have to get it out. That's okay, I got a pair of scissors. Can you hold on to those for a sec? And then hand me the scissors. Just go ahead and pop the balloon.
Yeah.
Just like that. And then we can go ahead and get your phone back out. Just like that.
Okay. Well, that was certainly amazing. I have no idea how he did that, and I'll be trying to figure out that trick for the rest of the day.
Coming up, caffeine conundrums. We show you where to go for your coffee cravings. We'll be right back.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
Northwestern alumni are always making headlines. I caught up with NNN's Ellie Skelly to discuss some of the latest from Wildcats in Hollywood in Spilling with Skelly and Spate.
Welcome to Spilling with Skelly
and Spate.
Thanks for joining us.
It's time to spill. Moving on to a spot of English tea, Northwestern alum Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were asked to vacate the UK residence Frogmore Cottage. It was reportedly offered to Prince Andrew. Well, we certainly have thoughts. Let's spill.
You know, I think it's completely within the Crown's right. They're living in LA, they have their own life, they're disaffiliated. I think, you know, they're not using the house anymore.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I just don't think they should have given it to Prince Andrew. It's just weird. He should be completely separated.
Yeah, he's disgraced.
But we love Meghan.
We love Meghan. And moving on to another Northwestern alum, Zach Braff is officially on the market after splitting with ex-girlfriend Florence Pugh. In college, ladies, you might have a chance. Braff and Pugh famously had a 20-year age gap. Brayden, what are your thoughts?
It's just a little weird. You know, they're in different stages of life, and I just don't really see the appeal there.
I agree. It creates a weird power dynamic. Not my fave.
And now it's time for a piping hot special guest. Welcome to the show, NNN's Ananya Chog. Now, Ananya, I heard you have the deets on the Cindy Crawford, Kaya Gerber, and Austin Butler drama.
So hey guys, here's the tea. Cindy Crawford, a one-quarter wonder at Northwestern, might be welcoming a new son-in-law into the family. Her daughter, Kaya Gerber, is dating Elvis star Austin Butler. Skelly, Spate, what are your thoughts?
Well, I like them together, but here's the thing, guys. Do we think that the voice is real?
Absolutely not. That boy's from Anaheim, California. Yeah.
No, 100%, 100%. He was in Carrie Diaries and he was just perfect.
And he acted and sounded normally for most of his life until 2 years ago.
He doesn't have a southern drawl.
No.
Anyways, thanks for sipping along with us. I'm Skelly.
And I'm Spate. Have a good day. So we just had the best time filming this segment. It was just like a dream come true. We absolutely had the time of our lives.
No, I could tell. I saw the entire thing. That was very, very funny. Just see you so relaxed and so chill, just honestly spilling all the hot tea on all these NU alumni. Very fun to see you in your element.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to bring this back next year for sure.
I totally did. And I'm pretty sure that Ellie would be down to do that again.
100%.
Well, Brayden, you and Ellie aren't the only ones that are spilling some tea. See, our own Kunjal Bastola visited tons of local coffee shops and has the scoop on hidden gems serving up students' morning coffee. Kunjal, Evanston has a lot of coffee shops, and we'll see the ones that you featured in your story in just a second. But could you tell us a little bit more about, why you chose to spotlight these ones in particular?
So each of these coffee shops, they're some of Evanston's lesser known coffee shops, but equally as good. They have plenty of seating and students love to study at cafes, so these places are great places to do so. And each of them are unique in that, either they have a cafe and a grocery store or they sell French inspired drinks. Each of them has their own little unique aspect.
Whether it's to study, catch up with friends, or just get away from campus, 4 coffee shops meet you where you're at. Bagel Art Cafe on Dempster moved to Evanston 10 years ago, building a community with students and Evanston residents.
So we see the same people every day, get to know their names, they all work in the area, they bring their families in.
Ben Davis, co-owner of Bagel Art, hopes to expand their community by featuring local artists and staying open later for students.
Create in the afternoons and evenings, more of like a study lounge type of feel too, so that people can come and just kind of hang out.
And close to Bagel Art Cafe is Dollop General Store and Cafe, making it easy to grab coffee and groceries at the same time.
And they come in all the time to buy ingredients for like dinner and also just snacks to study and stuff.
But if you're looking for something closer to campus, Patisserie Coralie, creating craft pastries and serving tasteful, French-inspired drinks, is at the intersection of Chicago and Davis.
They have a student discount, which makes it a lot cheaper than other places. It's not as busy like when I want to study because like other coffee shops downtown are like really busy and there's nowhere to sit.
And for North Campus Wildcats, Coffee Lab, known for its locally baked goods and specialty coffee, is located right by the Noise train station.
They do fun little latte art if you get it in a for here cup.
Local coffee shops caffeinating students and Evanston 1 cup at a time. Kunjal Bastola, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Kunjal. I think we might need to check out one of those coffee shops right after the show. I mean, we have to wake up like at 5 a.m. and I've had a great time, but I am a little tired. Need some coffee.
Yeah, I definitely need that caffeine, especially today. I have to go do homework right after this, so I'm going to pound about 3.
Not a mood. So which coffee shop do you think you're going to go to?
Oh, I'm thinking Patisserie Coralie. I love their mocha.
Very good.
Girl.
Very good. Okay, one final suggestion though. For all NU students, Pete's Coffee actually gives you a $1 discount on any purchase that you make. So if you want, some cheap coffee, some snacks, go to Pete's Coffee.
I mean, they practically know me now.
There you go.
Well, that's all the time we have.
Thank you so very much for spending your morning with us, and a special thanks to NU Admissions for letting us film from the beautiful Siegel Visitor Center.
NNN will be back next quarter. Until then, have a good day, everyone.